you got a chance to make a difference in so many kids' life. When you playing, like, you could be a great teammate, of course, but when you were coaching, you got all these kids and all these different personalities. They look up to you. You matter. You make a difference in their life.
And I'm glad you mentioned the pop-up shops because I remember that you was doing that.
Yeah.
Do you think that even works anymore?
Yes. If you are really being your brand and your brand makes sense and your brand can correlate with people and you know how to focus on those people, then you can have pop-up shops that are successful where you can sell out, for sure.
What kind of examples of success did you have?
It was always in home. You know, my mother was very successful doing hair. She could have probably been a millionaire. I'm the sacrificial lamb to business in my world, really. When I learned the hard way.
All right. So today we have Malik, all Homage, Jared. How you doing today, man?
What's up, Slim?
What's
All
up?
is well, man. Can't complain.
I appreciate you for coming.
Man, thank you for having me, brother.
Of course. First episode, season 2. I'm showing myself. People don't know who this is. So, yes, I do look as good as I sound. I'm here. So, yeah, this first episode, I'm honored. You definitely...
Thank you, brother.
You a legend out here, for real, honestly.
Man,
like,
appreciate it, bro. Like,
seriously.
it still ain't hit me, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
What you've accomplished, plenty of people have tried. People still trying.
Yeah.
You still around. So, and the jacket
Sure.
looks sweet. I meant to tell you
Thank
to
you.
bring me something I was going to pay you for, but I
Man,
just
I got
forgot.
you, bro. I
Yeah.
got you.
So we'll just go ahead and get right into it. The whole Eat brand, where'd the inspiration come from?
I feel like it was something that was just manifesting throughout my entire life, bro. Like since birth. Like I feel like God has just been, you know, walking me through different paths to get to this point. And like he's still not done with me, of course. But like when I really look back, like, you know, 7 years in now, I can say like, man, it's just been things throughout my life, you know, to whereas it's just like he just been aligning me for this.
Okay.
But 3-4 years ago, I probably would have told you, you know, the inspiration just came from when my life was at that point, you know. I was graduating college and, you know, just really trying to find my way in life. And it was just something to motivate me. And it was something that we was already using in college, you know what I'm saying? Eat, elevate all the time. But it started with photography and then it just grew to clothes. But the inspiration behind it the whole time was just to motivate people.
But why'd you pick the actual name?
So me and my man E, shout out to my man E, we was on the phone one day, and this around the time when ASAP had first came out.
Okay.
So this is probably like 2011, 2012, something like that.
Okay.
And that was Always Strive and Prosper. And we liked that, you know what I'm saying? And so we was just on the phone, just talking, you know, rapping. And my thing was to always eat from just my freshman year. You know what I'm saying? My freshman year of college, like just like any other college student, you know what I'm saying? Like you gonna be like broke, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to eat how you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one day everybody went to Chick-fil-A and I ain't had no bread. And I was just like, man, I don't care what I gotta do from this day forward. Like I'm gonna always eat good. I'm gonna eat whatever I want, you know? So I picked Eat and then we just went with Elevate all the time, just brainstorming, you know what I'm saying?
Ah, that's a nice story. You was actually hungry.
Yeah, for sure.
He was hungry for this.
Like it was really meaning behind that. That was just that day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we see what Eat has turned into, and we'll get into that. But I want to just know from the very beginning, because I know you remember those days where you was just probably drawing your own designs, that beginning process. What was that like?
Man, it's so crazy, bro, because I never drew anything. Like I just started like teaching myself like graphic design and everything probably like the last 3 years. Okay. But in the beginning, like I was never an artist in that type of way, you know what I'm saying? That type of fashion. It was just like, that's why I said like God really just been pushing me to do this. Mm-hmm. The logo, the Eat logo, I never came up with, I didn't design this logo, you know what I'm saying? I was just going by Eat hashtagging with my photography on Instagram. And after I did the Broccoli City Fest, that's when my man Michael Caldwell, he hit me up on Twitter and he was like, yeah, bro, you know, I see people stealing your pictures or whatever, because I took pictures of, you know, like all the artists and everything they had that day. He was like, yeah, just, you know, use this as your watermark, you know what I'm saying? So he sent the logo and I was just like, damn, you know, like this ain't like that. Like I was like blown away. I was like, you know, I'm, you know, like how you do this? Like how you make it? He was like, man, I just made it on my phone real quick. You know what I'm saying? So I just started going with the regular E logo. And by the time I started doing clothes, I don't know what made me put it upside down.
I was about to ask you, did he do that?
Nah, it was just right side up, and I used to just post it right side up on my Instagram. And I recently just unarchived like a bunch of my pictures, so like people could really follow my story. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, Instagram kind of turned something else, like a highlight reel job, like. But I just like unlocked all my archives so people could really like follow my story. So I was just posting this joint regular. And with the stickers, I was just putting the stickers up everywhere, you know, regular side up, right side up. And then when I did the clothes, I just put it upside down for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why.
Nah, I mean, it worked out.
But once people start asking me, like, you know, why is it upside down? You know, I had to make it make sense. So I was just like, it's elevated all the time, you know? Like, if you ever got your head, like, if you ever having a bad day, you probably gonna have your head down. You know what I'm saying? You see that, it's facing you, it's telling you pick your head up. You know what I'm saying? Elevate, just do better, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Move forward. Yesterday was yesterday.
That fits. And it's solid that it's actually like it's meaning behind it and your actions back it up. It's like everybody comes, when it's like just an acronym based thing, everybody picks something that has a good ring to it, but you actually back it up. So. And
this was like 2016, so, you know, now it's kind of like a trendy thing to do, but I feel like, you know, back then it was just kind of new, you know what I'm saying? So I like, you know, where other people are going with it and everything like that. But like you said, it's important to back it up, you know. And I try to be a living testament every day. It's hard, but you know, I have my ups and downs. I'm human. I ain't perfect, but you know, I like where I'm going with my brand.
What you think was the probably main thing that made it pop, or did it just go from just off the love?
The main thing that made it pop was really probably just like doing what God wanted me to do, because I really just wanted to be a photographer. I wanted to be the biggest photographer. I used to pray that like I could, you know, feed my family, help my family out with photography, you know. And I was working 2 jobs, and it got to a point where I was just like, you know, I gotta switch my prayer up. You know, I gotta like, it's like ain't nothing like really budging. You know what I'm saying? So I just started asking God. I was like, whatever you want me to do, like just use me. Like I just want to do what you want me to do. And next thing you know, I'm making T-shirts, bro. Like I never in my life thought I'd be making clothes and nothing like that. So that was the really main thing that made it pop. I was just doing what I was like really in my purpose, walking in my purpose.
Was there some kind of like defining moment? Like I had it, people was liking the shirts, but then once this happened, it went crazy.
Bruh, it was from the beginning, bruh.
Really?
Like
it's like eat shirts sold out.
Yes, like my first batch of shirts, I got like 40 shirts. I remember I picked them drinks up on a Thursday. By Sunday, they was gone. Dang. Like, and I was selling them for $40. You know, so you do the math. And
what you was getting made for at that time?
Tax. I was getting for like $15. I was getting taxed. Like, but I ain't know any better, so you know. So them drinks was gone. And I was just like, what? I just made 1,000. Like what?
A double.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I used to have to work, you know, 10 days for that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, from the get-go, and I knew that wasn't normal. You know what I'm saying? I used to see people who was, you know, doing things and had brands and things like that wasn't seeing the same success, and I wasn't comparing myself to them, but I knew it was something divine, you know, going on with my situation. Like I was like, man, God is like good. Like this is all God work. I'm doing pop-up shops, like selling out, like, and I'm just like, what? And even when I first started, I was just like, when I first like started really like seeing money and everything, I was just more community driven, because I just like, it was kind of like survivor's remorse almost. You know, it was like, why me? Like how? You know what I'm saying? So I just automatically like, man, I got like help people. Like I got to help my community out. You know what I'm saying? So I was more focused on that, like really, instead of just focusing on the craft. So when it was time to put together a collection or something like that, like I was doing that on the spot. Like when I did the New Balances and all that, like I didn't know what I was going to do when I walked in that meeting. Like designed everything like on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I had some wild ideas that they wasn't really going for at the time, but even like what was produced, like anything you seen me produce like before probably 2021, like it was just like so on the spot, and I wasn't really focusing on the craft as much. It was just more like community for real, community, and you know, just the brand, because it was always intended to motivate. Like I was more so looking at it, the clothes as like merch to fund, you know, the brand, which is bigger than just clothes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, now it's kind of like I'm finding that balance. So I'm not just looking at it just like merch, like it's a clothing brand. Like I want it to be
like a lifestyle.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, and both can coexist with each other, you know?
Yeah, that's solid. And I'm glad you mentioned the pop-up shops, because I remember that you was doing that.
Yeah.
Do you think that even works anymore?
Yes. But it just comes with, you know, authenticity. You know, if you it's really hard to really put in words, but the best way to describe it is if you are really being your brand and your brand makes sense, and your brand can correlate with people, and you know how to focus on those people, then you can have pop-up shops that are successful where you can sell out for sure.
Okay.
But even like without just like independent brand pop-up shops, like getting out there grinding, going to those like those pop-up markets where they have a bunch of, you know, different brands, and it's brands from all type of different, you know, businesses. Like just going out there and putting in that footwork, that makes a difference too. You know what I'm saying? Like
the leg work.
Yeah, you got to do the work. You know what I'm saying? So who am I to say pop-up shops don't still work? You know, I'm still successful from pop-up shops, but it just comes with, you know, like you said, just doing that leg work and not really going out there for money. Like it's going out there well, for me, it was going out there to spread my brand. Like if I could have a conversation with somebody and tell them, you know, if you don't eat, you die in the street. They're like, dang, you know, that's real. Like, yeah, you got to elevate all the time. Yesterday was yesterday. Like, whether it was good or bad, don't even worry about it. Like, it's all about moving forward. Like, we're going to move forward. If I can go out there and have that conversation with somebody, I did it. You know what I'm saying? If they happen to buy a shirt, even better, you know? So, it, you know, for money purposes, I don't really know. But if you really want to spread your brand and have your brand grow every day, which should be the goal, then, yeah, pop up.
I'm curious, before you got to who you are now, what kind of examples of success did you have when you were younger? Well, not even necessarily younger, just before you started this.
It was always in home, you know, my mother, you know, I was there. I seen everything, you know. I seen my mother grow, you know. My mother was very successful doing hair.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like she could have probably been a millionaire if she'd have just kept doing hair, but she was in school pregnant with me, and she was like, you know, I got to really try to set a foundation for my child. And so she started being a teacher. And I remember, you know, after daycare and everything, started going to the schools that she taught at, you know, and seeing my mother work, you know. And then by the time I was old enough to lock the door and me and my cousin could warm up our own food, I seen her go back to school, get 3 master's degrees, you know what I'm saying, up her level in education every time, and provide a privileged lifestyle for me and be a rock for my family. So that's all I wanted to do. Like that was my only goal for real, before I was doing clothes and everything. Like I want to be that rock just like my mom. And so I was able to do that as well. But my mother was the first example of everything. Like she was my Kobe, my joy, all that, you know. Just seeing that example she set and making those sacrifices, sending me to different camps sometimes, you know what I'm saying, or being able to take us to Disney World, I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying, like that's not regular. I never had to worry about the lights being cut on, clean uniform, you know what I'm saying, like I was good. My mother was that example.
That's solid. That's a bomb ass example. Shout out to moms.
That's and solid. My mother comes straight from Southeast. Yeah.
Being that was your upbringing, did you ever at any point battle with like wanting to be a little bit more unprivileged, or like to be able to say like you ain't had this and that? So I see like some people who be okay, but they want to relate with like the people who wish they had their circumstances.
Nah, see, because like my mother, like she just had she had a master plan. When I was with her, you know what I'm saying, I was doing book reports on the weekends. We was going to museums and stuff like that.
She was having you do those reports?
Yeah, but in the summertime, or even sometimes during the school year, she was sending me with my father's side, you know what I'm saying, around Northeast, and I was being a hood rat, you know what I'm saying? But I was smart. Like, she gave me that foundation to like not be a follower. So all those kids, I was around kids from all type of, you know, different situations when I was in the neighborhood. Not to say I wasn't like that around in school too, but the neighborhood is different, you know what I'm saying? And so they could tell, like, all right, yeah, you know, somebody care about him, somebody take care of him, you know what I'm saying? But I carried myself in a way to where as though I wasn't, like, I was never, you know, trying to make anybody else look bad. I was always just naturally humble, like that's what they used to tell me, or, you know, I was just always cool. So it was never like, you know, I had more than them, or it never felt like that, especially as kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just always cool. But then even still, like, I was just always, my mother always taught me to, like, you know, appreciate everything I had. And, you know, and she told me growing up, like, you know, these are privileges, like, this is not normal. Mm-hmm. And I was able to see that, you know what I'm saying? You know, from just my other friends and sometimes, you know. And so, but she was a teacher, you know, so she would, you know, pick other kids up when we went to museums and stuff like that, or when we went shopping, you know. If I picked out a Christmas list, you know what I'm saying, she gonna get most of the stuff on the Christmas list, and then she gonna tell me like, all right, now we gotta give half of it away. So I was always, you know, giving people stuff. Like, it was nothing. Like, I was never really a materialistic type of kid or anything like that. Like, I had nice things, and I appreciated them, but they didn't make me who I was. So I never like had to try to like trauma bond with people and things like that. I was able to understand their situation and have a lot of empathy for them, but I never tried to make my situation like, I never tell anybody like I come from nothing. I probably started with nothing as far as the knowledge of business and knowing how to run a brand and a clothing company. Mm-hmm. But no, I had a great foundation.
Yeah, that's solid, man. Mom, everything.
Yeah,
that's solid.
But it wasn't just mom, like the aunties too. Like my aunt, when I went with my father's side, I was mostly staying with my aunt. You know what I'm saying? She raised me, and she taught me a lot too. And like, it was a lot of like the women in my life. My grandmother, you know what I'm saying? Like grandma, like that's everybody's best friend. Yeah. I feel like that's like my best friend at least. But yeah, I learned a lot from the women, and even like my brothers and my cousins, my friends, you know what I'm saying? My father, you know, especially as I became a man, I learned a lot from my dad.
Okay. I was wondering if he played a part.
Oh yeah, for sure. But my mother was like every day, like, you know, we was there.
You mentioned she was like having you give stuff to other kids or unfortunate. So I guess that probably added to how you became who you are now with the community work you do. You got Eat Cares, Beacon House. Mm-hmm. Talk about that journey. Like why you got into that and what you've been taking away from it.
I feel like it was just natural. Like, I feel like this was like a part, you know, like a part of the path that, you know, God paved. I wanted to do more, and I started, you know, inserting myself more in the community. And it, like I said, like it was a lot with my mother, but when I wasn't with her, I was with football, you know what I'm saying? Football, Beacon House, that taught me a lot. Like, I was just talking about this on Instagram probably a couple days ago, but like, man, I learned everything at home and on the football field. And the football field was an extension of the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And like, that was unmatched, because I look at other people's experiences, especially like, they tell me about, you know, how they grew up playing football and everything. And, you know, I'm like, damn, like I had a privileged football team too. Like, I had coaches picking me up, taking me places, like, you know what I'm saying? We was never really bored, you know, if we ain't had to be bored, even if we just wanted to go over their house and, you know, mess up their living room and play the game all day. Like, they was with that. Like, our coaches made sacrifices. So that was just like always the coolest thing for me. And so it became my turn probably like 6-7 years ago. My godson, he started playing football. And at first I was just going out there like just trying to make sure he good. Excuse me. I was just trying to make sure he was good. And then you know, the same coach that coached me when I was a kid, man, he like, man, you need to come out here, you know. He was coaching him at first. He's like, man, you need to just come out here. So ever since that day, I was just like, bet. But I learned that I needed football, and I needed them. I needed those kids like way more than they needed me. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that. A lot of men don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you come up, you know, playing football and things like that, like you don't see the reward in coaching until you become a coach. Like it's way better than playing. And that might sound so crazy to say.
Describe it, like get into details. Like what did it actually do for you?
You got a chance to make a difference in so many kids' life. Like when you playing, like you really just like control, you like all you can really control or worry about or really help is yourself. You know what I'm saying? You could be a great teammate, of course, but when you were coaching, you got all these kids and all these different personalities, and they look up to you. You know what I'm saying? You matter. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You make a difference in their life. And
not even just the game.
Right. You're not even just a game. You make a difference in their life. I tell them straight up, like, I won't know how, like, we just won the championship, but I won't know how good of a coach I am until y'all go in high school. Y'all go through high school without, you know, getting in trouble or not letting anything, you know, hinder you from being able to go to college and moving on in life and being able to treat women right and things like that. That's when I know I was a great coach. I did my job. Mm-hmm. That's how I show my coaches, you know what I'm saying, that they did a great job. Like, I'm their trophy, you know? Like, and we got plenty of trophies in the rec, but when they see me and how I'm functioning, they know they had a part in that, like, that's their trophy. And it's like, man, I got 30 trophies right here, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I know I can help them, you know, and they're helping me because, you know, in them 2 hours, you know, 3-4 days out the week, man, I can go out there and I don't think about nothing. Like, I ain't worried about nothing. Like, we just focused on football. We having fun. Like, it's just like a state, like a flow state, like euphoria. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever's going on in life, and I done been through it all in the last 6 years, it feels like. Like, I go out on that field and it's good. I'm good. I'm with them. We go somewhere. We go out and get some hamburgers, bro. Like we just good. We laughing. We chilling. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, life just on pause for a second.
And how about the work you've done with I think you've done some with like incarcerated men?
Yeah. So I had an opportunity to go, you know, speak with the fellas at DC jail. You know what I'm saying? That was a great experience. You know what I'm saying?
But that was just like a one-time thing, or was that something that you do?
Yeah, that's something I only had to do. I only got to do one time because that was right before COVID. Okay. So COVID hit, and then a lot of things, you know, was different. But even still with that, like, I got a lot of like friends that I grew up with, you know, that's incarcerated. So I always like made it my mission to help them when I could. Like, early on, like, you know, I was really like just doing like everything I could, but, you know, circumstances change, and I realized, like, you know, I got to make sure I'm good to make sure if they gonna be good too. You know what I'm saying? So I had to realize that, but even still, like,
was that a tough lesson to learn? Or did you?
No, it was just
L's trying to learn.
No, it was just necessary. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't like a time thing, but it was more like just a money thing. Like, if my situations, you know, if my circumstances are changing, then like everybody's circumstances change. So I got to make sure my circumstances, my priorities straight. You know. Mm-hmm. But it was more so like me just being an extension of them, because a lot of them, you know, are trying to reform and do different things, you know, in society for when they reinsert themselves. And there's a lot of positive things at that. So it's like, I know some avenues, I know how to help, I know how to use my mind, I'm smart, I'm here on the outside, I have access to resources, you know, why not help them out? Or, you know, when holidays come around, you know, make sure their kids got gifts, or the birthdays, you know what I'm saying? Make sure, you know, their moms got help with the party, or getting them an outfit or some shoes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like just small things, and whatever with everything I do, like I don't like really for lack of better words, I don't care to get the credit. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't really matter to me. I get my credit from God. So I always tell people a lot of times, like if I do something for you, like don't even tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. First, because I don't want everybody to ask me for stuff, but still, like it wasn't really about like none of that for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really just like trying to, build my case to go to heaven.
So let me ask you a personal question. And this wasn't even prepared because I'm exactly that same way. Yeah. Like I don't care about credit. I'm doing it because I see something that maybe you don't see.
Right.
And I'm trying to help you get there. But I have been in situations where I've done that maybe for a lot. And then when I would maybe need something, if I didn't get it, I'd feel a way about it. Have you been in that situation?
Yeah, but I learned like how to not be in that situation anymore. Like I don't really blame them. I used to blame myself a lot, but even still, like if I'm ever needing anything, and I could probably be frustrated for probably like 10, 15 minutes about it. But then I let it go because at the end of the day, I know how I am. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not one to ask anybody anyway.
Right.
And no matter what, like in the last minute, last second of double overtime, like God is going like make sure I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Like I might suffer a little bit, but when I'm always had everything I need. You know what I'm saying? And so like that's what I really can rest on. That's why I don't let things bother me anymore, and I don't let that stop me from still helping people and still doing what I can. But it's just like I'm not overextending myself anymore.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty much what it boiled down to me. I don't internalize it, but I am careful with where I allocate my energy.
Exactly. Like
because I gotta feel like you deserve it, and if I give it to you, that you got the heart that you'll pass it along too, as opposed to just trying to take.
Yeah, and I'm just very spiritual. Like I'm kind of like impulsive, sometimes. So like in my first ever interview, I said something that was like really profound. I was like, I'm probably like, and this sounds so crazy to say now, but I still feel the same way. That's probably why I sound crazy. But like, I'm probably like gonna die with nothing because I gave everything away. And like that don't sound that kind of sounds crazy in society today, in a capitalistic, worldly society, that it is now. But like to me, it's just like, man, like Earth matters, like this world matters, but like this is like just stage 2 to me. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not everything. Like
right.
I really believe in heaven, like a paradise. Yeah. So like I can go there broke. I can go there rich. I can go there. Anybody can make it there. You just gotta get right with God. You know what I'm saying? While you're here, and you gotta make it count while you're here, and no matter what your circumstances is, you gotta put your best foot forward every day, and know that if you still got oxygen in your lungs, that means you're not done yet. So keep going.
Yeah. And I don't even think that sounds crazy, because I was saying that to somebody the other day, and I was like, I believe in God, like for real though.
Yeah.
Because like I know people say it, but when it's for real, it means something. Like you can and can't do certain things. That there's rules to it.
Right.
And there's a whole outlook to it. So I don't think that sounds crazy at all.
And I don't even have kids, so that's like really like my outlook. And I'm just like, maybe God will bless me with kids one day. Maybe He won't. You know what I'm saying? But even still, I got so many kids that I care for and I love. But like, maybe if I had kids one day, even if I had kids one day and my mindset doesn't change, it's like God gonna take care of my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
God gonna take care of my whole family. Like everything gonna be good.
Nah, that's solid. That is very solid, and it's likely to happen with that outlook. So I believe that. I saw you talking on your story not too long ago. You were talking about consequences and accountability.
Yeah.
What was that about?
So recently, it's been like a lot of discourse with like, childbirth, abortion, like even before like this last 2 weeks, like even with the election and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a really political person, but you know, I believe that, you know, a man has a responsibility of taking care of his child, his seed.
For sure.
You know, if you make a choice to lay with a woman and, you know, not use any type of protection, then and result, nature takes its course and you have a child, then that's your child to take care of. You know, you're supposed to do your best to provide and protect for that child.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just where I stand on it, period. And I don't believe that, you know, abortion is like birth control. Like, you know, that is something totally different, but I don't think it should be used as like a contraceptive. But who am I as a man? You know, I believe a woman should be able to do whatever she wants to with her body.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, it's not up to me to tell a woman what she's supposed to do. And my biggest thing is the message we sending it to younger boys. You know, we can send a message of, well, you can do whatever you want. You know, you can treat a woman's womb however you want. And as long as you tell her you don't want no baby, then you don't have no responsibility for that child.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could be telling, you know, young boys, you know, be careful, and in result, this is what you have to do. This is what men do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is what you got to do to become a man. Basically, is take care of your responsibilities.
Right.
And that's in every aspect of life. You know, that's what makes you a man. That being able to control yourself, composure, and plenty of other things. But I think those are the pillars of being a man. And so, as long as young boys is following me and looking up to me, I wanted it to be clear on what is expected of a man.
Mm-hmm.
And the choices they can make.
Okay. Well put. Earlier you were talking about the clothing line and how it wasn't, you were just making clothes as a representation to the higher thing, which was the brand.
Yeah.
So what's the overall goal? In not even what is it now? Because I saw in another interview you talked about it being BET, CNN.
Yeah.
So just what do you want it to be now?
Now I want it to be just as big as that. You know what I'm saying? But even bigger. Now what I really want for the brand is like something I really believe that I can't imagine. I feel like it's something so amazing, so spectacular that like nobody has ever seen, nobody can really quantify, you know. I think it takes a lot of patience, especially with myself, because whatever criticism that people have, like I'm probably 5 times, you know, it's tougher criticizing myself for the same thing, you know, but mm-hmm. I'm learning patience because I don't want to sound too cliche, but I really don't think that, you know, with me walking in the path that God paved, that it's supposed to just be like that. You know what I'm saying? Be so quick and so fast and just take off, skyrocket. I think everything's going to happen in due time, and it can happen any day. Like, because I'm somebody that's seen my life, I seen my life change overnight. Mm-hmm. Like, it happened to me already. So I know it can happen.
So you don't even have an actual plan for the brand. It's just unlimited, just wherever.
No, I got a plan every day. The plan every day is just to, you know, try to be obedient to God.
Well, not that. Like, that's your life plan. But I'm just saying, like, as far as EAT as an entity, like, did you want it to maybe turn into a media company one day?
Oh, yeah. See, I could tell you all those things, but like I said, like I was like, I feel like I'm doing a disservice to my dreams, my imagination, to God's plan by just saying like.
By picking.
Yeah, by picking or saying like, oh, it's gonna be media and I'm gonna have airplanes and I'm gonna have gas stations and like I'm gonna have warehouses and schools. Like I'll be selling myself short to put that out into the world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I really believe it's just something that I just cannot imagine. Like I might go down as somebody that the world will remember. The whole world will remember me and talk about me one day. Like, who knows? Like,
is that important to you? Do you want that to be the case?
But who am I to say it's not? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And just my relationship with God is just like, I can't count it out. I'm not saying like I'm special or anything like that, but you know, like, it makes sense with the ups and especially the downs in my life and how I can get back up. I'm just like, man, I know God is real and he got some type of focus on me. You know what I'm saying? He's using me, you know what I'm saying? And then the impact I have in other people's lives, and it's just like, I can do more for other people than myself sometimes. But that's when I rely on God to do for me. But all that just make it so real, and it's like, I don't think I'm a regular person. I don't think anybody should think that. Like, I think I'm really here for a real reason. And it's probably gonna be big. And it might not be big in numbers in the masses, but by the time I expire, it's gonna be big in people's hearts. Even when I die, after I die, it's gonna be big. It's gonna resonate big. Even if it's in 20 people, it's gonna matter like so much to those 20 people. It's gonna be enough for 200 million.
Nah, I like the way you put that, because I'm so big in manifestation, and the way you just described that, it's like if I put something out there, I might be shortening myself, and I didn't even see it coming.
And I used to I didn't always think like that. You know, like you said you seen my other interviews, and I was just like, and now I look at that, I'm like, man, why was you putting limits on yourself? You putting a ceiling on yourself, bro. You don't
I like that. I like that.
You working with God, bro. Like,
that's solid. That was good. I'm definitely taking that away for sure. What's your biggest regret, and what did you learn from it?
My biggest regret, if I was to say I had any regrets.
And it doesn't even have to be brand related, just life.
Yeah, just in life. I wasn't even thinking about eating. Because I'm really a person that believes like everything happened for a reason and everything in my life matters. But my biggest regret, or things that like, or something like I just apologize for, but even with me now being older and more wise, I didn't know any better, was just not being the right man for the women who loved me in relationships.
That's a good one.
Like, that's something like I apologize for. And now I'm older and mature. I didn't know any better. Like, that was going to happen. That had to happen, I think, you know, for me to grow. And I'm sorry it happened with them, you know, those women that truly loved me. But like, yeah, I just wish I could have been who they needed me to be.
And what have you learned from that in hindsight?
Be more careful. I'm way more selective now with like dating or just talking to, you know, women. Like, it's more delicate. I always had a respect for women, but it's just like they're more precious and delicate to me now that I'm just older. I understand women more. I become more of a man, you know, and like I feel like it's kind of disgusting almost when I look back on my past and how I was. It wasn't like really disrespectful towards women. Like, I never, you know, did anything wild.
Right.
But in the same time, it's just like I've grown so much that it's kind of been discussed, but I've also learned to give myself grace to understand, like, all right, that was that chapter, and look how much we've grown since then. And so we know if God was to, you know, bless us like that again, we know what to do. You know what I'm saying? But I used to be very foolish. But that's one thing I would say I regret, but I really just apologize.
Yeah. Regret's a tough word. Maybe I should use a better word for that question, because I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it was necessary, like,
to be who you are now.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question, and it's kind of similar to that question. What's the biggest loss you've ever taken? And how'd you bounce back from it?
The biggest loss I ever taken was people that I love crossing me, stabbing me in the back, losing them. I'm the type of person, I love I really love people. Like, I don't love everybody, but if I love you, I love you. Mm-hmm. And it's hard for me to love people. And I still got to love people after they didn't stab me in the back or betray me, you know? And just losing them, losing that relationship, losing that bond, losing that bond. Like, I'm going to love them no matter what, you know, but I can't mess with them. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't deal with you. I wish I was in your life to see how you was doing, to maybe so I could, you know, cause you was my dog too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed you too. You know, we needed each other, but you chose that path. Mm-hmm. And so that was probably like the biggest loss, you know, relationships. In business, I done lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, like, got my ass kicked. But I done made a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So
what you take away from those moments?
I can't let it happen to anybody else now. Mm-hmm. I'm the sacrificial lamb to business in my world, really. I never had a mentor or OG, you know. So I learned the hard way with everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, taxes, what? Like, everything was new to me. So when I took those losses, I was sad. Whatever, I got over it. I dealt with them. Some of them I'm still dealing with, but I can't let it happen to the people I love or to the young kids that look out to me for advice. Like, I'm gonna tell them exactly how it is and tell them what to look out for, because a lot of losses I took, I shouldn't have if I had a mentor. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Like, it's behind me now. Yesterday was yesterday, you know. So
full circle, bring it right back. Yeah. Okay. Solid answers, man. This is you dropped some good just mentality gems, like the way you should see life, the way you should think, you know.
Yeah, I think a positive mind is very important, you know what I'm saying? And me, I'm a very transparent dude. And a lot of people, if they never sat down with me, talked to me, or they don't really know me, like, they just go by like social media. Like, I be having people like reach out like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." Like, I'm just not like everybody else. Like, I'm transparent. Like, I'm gonna tell it how it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say something real, and they can be like, "Damn, is he sad?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm just being real with you." Like, that's, you know. And a lot of things, like, I might not be going through it today, but I was feeling that 2 weeks ago, and I know somebody else can resonate with that, so I'm gonna share it. Yeah. You know, today I'm in the kitchen, I'm feeling good, like I'm chilling right now, but I just decided to share that. And so, you know, the people that don't know me is like, "Oh man, like, I am an emotional guy." You know what I'm saying? I am a transparent guy, but I never been soft or weak, because I feel like it's weak to hide all those things.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can't nobody tell me nothing about myself that I don't know, or people or the world don't know. I don't have no secrets about me. Like, I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think you experience a level of freedom that people don't understand.
Yeah, and it's like,
when I was young, I gave myself a rule. Like, before, because I didn't have much guidance, but you kind of know what you should or shouldn't be doing. So I just gave myself a rule when I was younger. Like, I can't do anything that I'd be ashamed to tell somebody I did. And when that's how you lived your life, you could be transparent, because can't nothing slip out that could really.
And I done made a lot of mistakes, but I admit to all of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done some stupid stuff, but it's nothing that nobody knows, you know? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even gonna say I don't care about people's judgment, because sometimes I do. But at the end of the day, it's just like, man, if that's how you feel about me being myself, then hard truth. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
as long as it's facts.
I like knowing who's who. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things don't really bother or trigger me for real. Like,
okay.
But that just comes from growth.
Yeah.
I wasn't always like this. I'm 32 now. Yeah. When I was 26, hell nah. Like, I was all like, what, man? This interview would have been like so probably wild and crazy. Like, 26, man.
We grown now. It's time to take the lessons we learn and pass them back so everybody else come up correctly.
Right. And then the kids calling me Unc, so I feel like, you know, I got responsibility with that.
Status.
Yeah, they call me Unc. But Unc, at first I was like, whoa, what y'all on? Because, you know, Unc, back when we was young, used to mean something else.
Yeah.
But now Unc like OG, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
so, you know, Unc got to really, you know, be proper. But
you've accepted it. You want
even
that.
what they see with me, is like, yeah, he not a perfect man either, but he know how to be a man about his business. You know what I'm saying? A man know how to correct his wrongs and move forward with it. I don't take steps back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It in a respectful way.
Yeah, I don't take steps back. And then like I really kind of like am perplexed at like how people can say like somebody loses, you know what I'm saying? Or like how people can say I lost. And it's like, what did I lose? I ain't lose nothing.
What do you mean? Like generally speaking, or that you have lost?
Like generally speaking, or me, period. You know what I'm saying? Like I see things on the internet, like it's never in real life, you know, but I see things, you know, and people like, oh, he you know, he lost or he fell off. And I'm just like, what did I lose? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? I came in with everything I came in with, I still got. You know what I'm saying? And I got more than that, you know? And I'm not even talking about monetary value, you know what I'm saying? Money and things like that. Like, I'm smarter. I'm 20 times the man I was when I was 21 years old. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't lose. Like, but to people that's just, you know, I don't even think they real. I think that's just like they internet personalities. Mm-hmm. Like that's just out here basically quantifying a man on what they can monetize. Like, I'm just like, that don't make me. Like, I'm a different type. I'm built different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you only look at me as to how many cars I can buy or what jewelry or what woman I'm with, like, if that's what makes me a big dog to you, then I don't even want to be a big dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you live in a whole different type of world, bro. Like, that's cool and all, but it ain't really about that to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? That ain't how I got here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? From men like that.
Right.
So.
All right, well, that's all I had for you, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Did you have anything you wanted to leave off? Anything coming up with the brand? Or?
Nah, I think, you know, Digital Discourse, keep doing your thing, bro. I'm really looking forward to more conversations, not just with you, but with you, with other guests, you know what I'm saying? Like, definitely want to come back. This was a great experience for me.
I definitely want to have you, because based on what I've learned about you and the way you think, I'm curious to what your opinion would be just on, like, the controversial stuff.
Yeah,
we already about an hour in, so we can't really touch it right now.
And that's funny you say that, because, like, I'm kind of open book, but I'm kind of slow to warm. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I like this environment, bro. This is like a really cool, like 10 out of 10, A+ interview. Like, I'd love to come back and we could definitely like talk about some shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely with that, I'm definitely like cool with sharing my mind on things, you know what I'm saying? So this is just the beginning, man. I'm really looking forward to it though.
All right, appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, bro.